Hello, welcome to this week's episode of ATP Sports Golf Podcast. It's Craig and Erik again this week. Erik's been rushing about last minute to make this happen. How's things, Erik?
Oh yeah, always, buddy. I guess I'm full ADD mode today. I'm not subtracting, I'm adding all around. So yeah, quite hectic. Things are going well with the business. Uh we're right at lease stage. We're right at getting the construction going, getting the tenant improvement going, busting ground here soon. So yeah, I'm running around like crazy. But dude, golf is still booming. I mean, that's the industry I'm going in, so I hope it's booming. But yeah, it's booming and fun, dude. It's kind of crazy right now. It's like I'm living in an alternate reality. Back in the day when you like look at you go on ESPN and you expect Tiger Woods and Annika Sorensen to be winning, and we're just kind of living that next generation of those two right now. It feels like I don't know if they're breaking records, achieving new things for themselves, but they're kind of catching up with the old ones. So
Yep.
good world right now.
It's getting a bit boring though, eh?
yeah. I mean, the dry toast golf. We've talked about it plenty of times. Yep. He's a good guy. It's just out there for some smiles and crush everyone at golf. So Scheffler, not the most exciting as far as like intrinsic entertainment or like booming crowds and stuff, but
Yeah.
The accelerated golf, the better golf,
Yep.
I don't know, he's just unbeatable.
Well, we'll go back a week because obviously we missed last week with a couple of hold-ups and stuff. So obviously him coming off a Masters win, picking up that green jacket again. He looked like he was on cruise control, and these other guys are coming at him. The young guys as well. I mean, Oberg did brilliant for having never seen that course and being one of the new young hot guys out of college. And coming on the thing, I thought he did really well, but he's playing out of his skin to try and make it a contest. And Scheffler's just like, nah, I'll just put the foot down now and I'll just accelerate away for you. And then he ends up with a 4-shot lead that ends up winning the tournament. So yeah, he almost kind of went into cruise control there.
Yeah, it's crazy to watch. Like you said, Oberg, it's amazing to watch him in general. He's a stud out there. But he makes his score kind of look difficult, whereas where we talked about Scottie makes his look so easy when he puts on the gas. You just see it in accuracy. You're not like seeing accelerated swings. His swing is already kind of out there, so it's we're used to seeing his fancy footwork and his twinkle toes moves, and so like that's not the reg. So when he steps on the gas, as far as pounding one, he doesn't look much different other than falls a little further over. And it's funny to see all these people coming out now in footwork's not everything and all this, but he clearly has balance. I mean, the regular guy swings like that. We see our drunk buddies on Sundays or whatever fall on his face from that move, so but the ball's hardy shank to the right.
Yeah, what I think's been the biggest thing with him is, I mean, his iron play is just like on point just now, right? Like whatever he hits, he sees, right? So he walks up to the ball and he's like, right, this is whatever it is, 132. His caddy puts the club in his hand, bang, he hits it close to there. What I've noticed recently, and probably is a contributing factor to how he's been playing and how he's winning, is he's firing at more pins and he's close. So he's leaving himself like 3 and 4 footers for birdies. And if he maybe doesn't make them, which is very rare, he's knocking them in for a par. Whereas before, I thought he was firing maybe 10 to 15 feet. And we all know that there's the averages, even for the tour pros, are making like 10 footers is something ridiculous. So he's giving himself the chances and putting himself in those opportunities to knock them in for birdies. But yeah, he just almost seems to be like so laser focused with it. And he's just like, yeah, that's where the ball needs to go. That's where the ball goes. And then he's making those putts. So yeah, he's definitely going to be a problem for the rest of the year.
For the time being. And what's wild is you say that with so laxed energy. It's like, oh, bro, like, I'm just not putting well, so I'm gonna go ahead and take it from 10 yards, and I'm gonna go ahead and put it at 4. No big
Yeah,
deal.
yeah,
As part of my game. So, just hold on, boys. Go ahead and stand there a second while I take care of this. And
yep,
yeah, just go ahead and put it at 4 feet and knock in your putts.
yep,
Easier said than done. It takes an absolute sniper to put one at that kind of distance. I think he plays well into what Tiger always said. Tiger's one of his mantras or whatever was kind of just put it pin high. And you could tell Scottie knows his distances to an extreme. I've even seen it on some YouTube channels or something, where Scottie would hit it. They was playing into with a flight simulator or a flight scope or a flight monitor, and he'd hit the ball. He'd call out the distance, and then just be so spot on, like
yeah,
disgusting spot on, like
yeah. He's like 1 or 2 yards out.
173.
Yeah,
Yeah, whatever. 173. He's like, oh, 173.2. You're like, okay, well, he didn't get it. Yeah, he did,
yeah,
dude. Yeah, he
yeah,
got it, bro. Like, yeah, if you're within 5 yards, you got it, dude. Like,
yep.
okay.
No, no,
Um,
he's aye, the boys. He's definitely on a heater, as they keep saying on the telly. So, yep, he notches up the Masters, and then he moves on to the RBC Heritage, where he's picking up the tartan jacket, not the plaid jacket that you and Logan went with last year, but the tartan jacket.
I like that
Um,
flannel, dude. That flannel's sweet,
yeah,
bro. Like, I'm all about it.
yeah. So he picks that up again this week as well. Rain delay and a couple of shot lead, and then he just came back out and he was like, "No, I'll just keep doing exactly what I'm doing." Even thunderstorms can't stop Scottie Scheffler at the moment. He's just
Yeah.
he's
It
scary to watch.
the course don't matter. The players on the course don't matter. It's Scottie versus himself right now.
Yep.
We seen it before. It's Tiger versus himself. Was Tiger going to show up or was Tiger going to struggle? Was he going to have his recovery shots or not? Is and this is Scottie's. It's like, is Scottie going to put it to 5 feet or is he going to put it to 15 today? If he puts it to 15 today, he might not make that putt, like you said before. But he's putting it to 5 or less right now, and
Yeah.
yeah, he's got the what do you don't call it? You call it the apparel to match. Now it's not all hardware. He's got all the
Yeah.
apparel to rock.
Yep.
I mean, I'd rock the flannel over the green, like on a daily choice. Clearly, I
Mm-hmm.
want the green more than the flannel or the tartan. But
Tartan.
no,
Yeah.
I love it though. It's fun. I like the different just options, and it just kind of
Yep.
throws it back
No,
old
he's
school. And that course, they said it over and over and over again that the Harbor Town plays a completely different style of golf than Augusta does. He's not just winning a certain style golf course. He's not just winning a certain style tournament. He's not winning small ones and big ones. He's winning them all.
yeah. Yeah, everything he's entering, he's winning now. So they must really be getting freaked out when he sees his name on the start sheet, and they're like, "Oh, Scotty's decided to tee it up this week." However, the bubble's got to burst at some point. Like, I mean, somebody's going to have to come at him, or does he lose his focus once the baby comes? You know, at the moment, it almost looks like he's trying to, right. I'm just going to go out here. I'm going to bank as much cash as I can. I'm going to win as many tournaments as I can, and then when the kid comes, you know, that's going to be his main priority. The only thing we can hope for
you
is that
know,
he maybe takes a bit of paternity leave, so the baby comes and he decides to take the rest of the year off. That might be the only
I mean,
chance
you're
for the
you're
rest of
not
him.
you're not wrong. I actually think you're onto something there. Um, I think it's a good time to start choosing who's going to be your top 5 players and who's actually going to take the FedEx Cup this year.
Mm.
Scottie Scheffler has his baby. Clearly, family's a priority, which, like I was in the military, it's what's God, service, family, like type thing or whatever. And
Mm-hmm.
he's clearly God, family, golf. And, but golf falls behind family and what it seems like his life. And, um,
Yep, I'm pretty sure.
I'm not against him. I mean I feel that, but will that play into the history that is Scottie Scheffler? We've seen it before, 2 years in a row. He's going number one in the FedEx Cup, uh, and just didn't pull it together for the FedEx Cup. It wasn't the same type of family or whatever situation was before, but I do see I do see a point you have here, and I think maybe he doesn't take it down this year, and this is like, I mean, this might be a good year for you to pick a gamble responsibly, but pick a dark horse, dude. Like Victor Hovland type going into this year, and maybe he just might, his head game might not be there then. We don't
Yeah.
know. He's obviously there now, and he's on full throttle, and yeah, I don't know.
Yep. We'll just have to wait and see how his priorities change. Like you said, I think his priorities are kind of God, family, then golf is kind of how
Yep.
that definitely comes across. And he looks the type of person as well that if Meredith was to say to him, "Yeah, look, we've got enough money in the bank, we've got houses, we're comfortable, the kids and the grandkids are going to be looked after with the thing. Step away." I wouldn't be surprised if he was like, "Yep, no problem." It's almost like he doesn't need it. He's got this God-given gift that he's utilising at the moment. But yeah, it doesn't. It looks like actually golf's far down on his list of priorities.
Yeah, he's got absolute skills. And on top of that, his caddy's good to go too.
Yeah, exactly.
So
His caddy's won more than most of the PGA Tour pros this
yeah,
year, eh?
yeah,
Just on that 8 to 10% seems to be a big chunk for him. So moving on to the LPGA, because they've got the exact same problem. In Nelly Korda, she's won
I'm not
5 of
even
her
sure.
last 5 starts.
I'm not even sure they got the exact same problem. I feel like their problem's even more dangerous.
Yeah,
I don't even want to get into the men and women sort of scenario. I just want to talk about, I mean, just Nelly. Her swing is gorgeous. It like is just in sync, dude. It is technically savant. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Like, she is a golf savant kind of, it seems like, and she's on the money. And whereas when we see Scottie, like, yeah, he's in sync, but he still has the twinkle toes thing where it just isn't. You can't go and teach that to the youth. Maybe
No,
later, or they're figuring out how to leave the ground and stuff. But you want to teach the kids something, put Nelly Korda on. Like, you
yeah,
want your golf swing to look like that girl's swing, dude. She's a
yeah,
professional, and she's
effortless.
dominating in a professional way.
Yeah, effortless. And aye, she's exactly the same. She's teeing up, and the rest of them are like, right, we're all playing for second this week. So we'll just have to see who goes on more of a tear. It'll be either her or Scottie.
Right.
So there's been a bit of chatter about the two of them should tee it up in a match. Now that would be probably one I would pay for. They've had Brooks Bryson in the past. They've had Tiger Phil. Um, I think really seeing the best
The
male
match.
golfer on the planet against the best female golfer on the planet. I get they'd probably have to do Scheffler for the tips and Korda plays from like the
Correct.
appropriate tees, the ones that she's played
Yeah.
from. But I think that'd be close. Or you
Yeah.
get the two of them. You get the two of them to team up for that Franklin shootout or the Zurich that's on this week. Imagine
Right.
the two of them as a team.
Oh, ooh. Ouch. That would, I mean, that's, I don't know. That's, yeah, Hercules, how godlike or whatever. I don't know. They would be, I mean, maybe they wouldn't team up well. You don't know, but just their skill clearly shows that they would take over. But I think that it would be cool, yes, to watch it with a match. But then I go back and I think about how courses play and stuff, and it's the course type, no matter where they go, is going to fit one bill better than the other. I
Yeah,
think either one it's not gonna show in a dramatic way, but a one or two stroke swing on a certain hole or a certain layout is clearly gonna benefit one over the other. And I was just thinking about Pebble Beach last year, and watching the guys and how they go out and play Pebble, and then kind of just how Pebble plays beatable a little bit for the girls. I'm not saying they didn't struggle and they didn't put it in the fescue and stuff that Pebble, the the areas that Pebble shows its dirty head. They put them there, but they when I watched that broadcast, they just kept staying over and over like the Pebble plays,
yeah,
just that much easier from a forward tee. So,
yeah.
um,
Yeah,
But still, an
you'd have to
amazing
find
match. Yeah,
yeah,
go ahead.
you'd have to find somewhere that was a kind of level playing field. So you need to pick somewhere where they both played events, so that they've got that kind of in their locker that they know where they're going. Like a St Andrews, for example.
Yep.
They both played it because the Scottish Women's Open's over here.
Yep.
The Open is played at St Andrews as well. So they would have a course that they both know how to get the ball around. Because, yeah, if you were to go and try and pick, like, I mean, what's that one Liv were on the other week? Whatever it's called. Blue Monster or,
yeah, the Blue
something
Monster,
like
yeah.
that. I don't think they've held women's events there because it is a long
So
course and
long.
it's so tight and it's like really, really difficult. So that's probably one that the LPGA would avoid. So
I like what you're going there with the Scottish too. It's like taking it both out of a home court advantage. They're both from the United States, and they're both golfers as kids and youth, and so they've played everywhere, dude. Like this ain't like playing football or baseball or anything like that. Every course is different from year to year, even, and but they travel so much in golf that any course you take them to, and even over there is still kind of they're used to playing it, but at least going out of the States or something would put them um more of a level playing field, I guess you call it.
yeah, as opposed to these like resort courses, because that's what they're playing with the matches we've seen. So you had that one recently where Lexi Thompson and Max Homa and Rory McIlroy, and I can't remember who his partner was, but they were playing. They play these like resort type courses at night time. What you want is a course that they both know how to play and a straight up match, a
Yeah.
shootout between the two of them. And I don't think, like, obviously Tiger and Phil was a big money game, and Phil's so money orientated, so that's what they. I genuinely don't think that Scheffler or Korda would be bothered about banking a big paycheck for that one. Just
Yeah.
get them out, go play for charity, donate it to, I don't know, whatever.
Your struggle is going to be though. I mean, like I love Charles Barkley as like the commentator and that kind of thing.
Yeah,
But Tiger and Phil, it's not just golf, dude. Phil is loaded with information. Phil is loaded with jokes.
yeah,
Tiger, has his own way of talking or coming back from those, which is kind of Tiger funny, and we
yeah,
kind of pick up on his humor now that we've seen it throughout the years, and his own dry sense of humor. But like having live commentary from like Korda and Scheffler is kind of like, I mean, like we might as well watch the cooking channel. You know what I'm saying? Like it's not gonna be a whole lot of fireworks on the commentary, I don't think.
yeah,
So where it's gonna obviously draw excellent golf. I don't think it's gonna draw the same type of crowd as in the money grab that Phil and Tiger is.
yeah. So I don't really know enough about the kind of Corda sisters. I'm obviously aware of them, and Jessica's she's just had a baby and she's doing a lot of the. So was Nelly always the better one, or is Jessica the better of the two, or were they kind of a bit like the Serena and Venus Williams, that they kind of one wins one week, the next win the next wins the other week? Or
As far as I know, Nelly's kind of she came to the forefront when they turned pro that I know of. I knew of Jessica, but and even last year when we started this podcast, what I knew is Jessica was hurt. So I know they both gone through injuries and that kind of thing. And I think that's just plagued both of them, and hopefully and then Jessica obviously, had a baby and she's doing that thing right now. So
yeah,
that's biology, and that's just his life, and it happens, and if it happens to say Nelly or anybody else, you're definitely probably likely to be on some sort of maternity leave. So
yeah,
yeah, I don't know how that works, and I don't know much about them. Like I do know Jessica and Nelly, and I don't know the exact age difference, but I think Jessica is actually the older one. So I would suspect she came out for first, and but then I think maybe Nelly is the younger sister. Just learned a lot. So who knows?
yeah, yeah. Well, no, it's Yeah, it'd be good if Jessica does when Jessica does come back after the maternity leave, and if Nelly's still on the top of her game, it'd be good to see they two kind of competing against each other. So because I'm sure they've both got good genes and good genetics in there, so they'll well,
Yeah,
they'll both be players. So
yeah.
yeah, another
What?
kind of news coming out the Chevron as well was this Jasmine Koo. Did you see her shot over the water that she
Yeah,
banked
the
off the
skipper.
Chevron side? Yeah.
Oh, skipper. Yeah, that's pretty crazy. And I think the fact that just the highlight from it was the announcer and how he brought about it, and he kind of just made it like that much more impactful. Um, I mean, as far as I know, she was pretty far behind and stuff, so it wasn't like crazy tournament impactful.
Mhm.
But just, I mean, dude, you could hit that shot 100 times, and you're not gonna hit that shot. Like,
No, no,
um,
it's going in the water
it,
every time, and then it
yeah,
just
like,
all of a sudden it takes the right wee gust of wind, it hits off the board, it gets on the green, she gets up and down for a birdie. I mean, that's just she was probably staring a double bogey in the face or a bogey in the face.
yeah, I
At least you know
mean,
if it goes in that water, but
yeah, her drop is so far back 'cause that crossed the water like way back. So she's advancing the ball maybe a couple yards, it seemed like, and just for it to skip across and then to make the putt, like they're just, I mean, to miss the putt would be a tragedy, but to make the putt and get that birdie, that's I mean, do something with it. Like this is her like shot in the dark. She got lucky. Her name actually, like I never heard of her before. I'm
mhm,
sure that's a pretty common thought across the board for most people. And I don't know. Dig your
yep,
toes
I'm sure
in,
we'll hear from her again.
make your name pop up more than just a lucky
Yeah,
shot. So
exactly. But from one, and then obviously from one youngster to another, Miles Russell. So the kind of event that ran alongside the RBC Heritage is the Punta Cana. So yeah, I don't claim to know how the 15-year-old managed to get into the field, but he had such a good run at it and ended up in a top 25. So yeah,
I mean,
what a young
what's crazy is Scheffler stealing almost the limelight in this one. Yes, the RBC Heritage stacked field, like absolutely bonkers stacked field. Might as well have been a major. But and no cut too, right?
mhm.
And then to run alongside it with the Punta Cana and the storylines that are in that, we got the Bryan brothers. What Wesley was the one that played well,
Yeah,
right? And
yeah,
Wesley almost took down the tournament. He like literally start to finished it almost. Horschel came back with that insane 63. I'll talk about Horschel again in a minute, but he almost took it from start to finish. And then this kid to come out and just be a stud, dude. Like he is studly and 15, right?
yep,
I mean, dude, I remember being 15 and teeing it up in a, obviously he's played some bigger tournaments and this and that, but like just a 15-year-old to tee it up on TV, 15-year-old to tee it up in front of pros, 15-year-old to all the crazy things he did, and then to finish top 25 is
yep.
good on him,
Insane.
dog.
Yep. He's got himself an invitation as well to the Butterfield Bermuda Open as well. So um, that's the type of thing that the PGA need to get a grip of, because these are the type of stories that's going to grip people, and they'll want to see how he gets on. And he's not one of these, sideshow acts where he's been on and he's done well. They need something like that he then qualifies again and he does well again. That's how you build a story. I don't know if you guys watch much of the darts over there, or if it's just in the pub pastime, but it's pretty big in Europe and in the UK, and they have the World Championships every year. And there was a young boy, Luke Littler, that qualified for the final this year, and he was 16, and he was beating all these world number one, world number two, beat all the big guys to get to the final. He did end up getting beat in the final. He just kind of ran out of steam, but um, yeah, he's beating all these grown men, and he's not even old enough to buy a pint. He was
Hmm.
finishing, he was winning his rounds and his matches, and then he was going away for a kebab at night time, going back to his room, watching a bit of telly, getting up the next day and coming back out to practice. So,
Yeah.
um, it just goes to show you that regardless of how young you are, if you're good enough, you're old enough, and to come out at 15 years old and play and compete with a number of big name players, because it was a good field that was in Punta Cana as well.
Yeah, and that's where I was going with the Billy Horschel thing. Is I guess Bill, being that Billy won the FedEx couple years back, he's he's not on the same level as a lot of these dudes have won. I mean, I don't know. The FedEx Cup's kind of one of those. Some people pop out, but he's won a few tournaments. He's kind of a name you'd expect to kind of see in the RBC. Maybe mid to bottom of the field of the pack at the final. But you just kind of expect to see him in the bigger tournaments. I actually didn't even know he's playing in Punta Cana. Haven't paid a whole lot of attention other than I saw the kid was playing. And I saw that Wesley Bryan came off to a hot start. That's a big leap and bound for YouTube golf in itself, social media golf. I mean, those two are just that's where they came from, really. Then trick shots, even, I think, and then they just got crazy into it and played here and there, bought a course, and now that these dudes are playing the professional tour and making a name.
Have you watched any of their YouTube stuff? That whole buying the course thing's really good. I quite like it.
Oh yeah, that's dude. I mean, they're one of the reasons. Like I'm here in front of you today. Even you know what I mean. Like, I watched Good pretty heftily over COVID. Sat there and played on the simulator. Just constantly had that on, and then I just started to expand my horizons and looking at people like Paige. And no, I'm just kidding. I was looking at her before. Not like the Bryan brothers and stuff. Watching Busted Jack and bro, yeah, their YouTube channels fun to watch. It's a story, kind of tells the story of what
he's won on the tour before, hasn't he? Like he won on the PGA Tour, I think, and then
I thought he won on
a good few years ago. Was it maybe like the Corn Ferry equivalent?
Yeah, I thought he won on the Corn Ferry, but
was it the Corn Ferry?
I could be wrong.
Yeah, I'm just having a quick look just now because they've got there's part of the PGA Tour. They're going to be in Myrtle Beach, and they were running a contest. I think they played it about a month to 6 weeks ago, where it was like 8 YouTubers. So it had like Micah Morris and Grant Horvat.
Oh yeah,
play. They were in it, as well as kind of 8 of the local pros. So I'm just trying to see.
Didn't they just play that in Dallas? I think they just did that in Texas. Like, I thought they just did a Dallas version of that Desert Series Classic, Desert something. I don't know.
Oh, I don't know. No, it was won by a veteran Corn Ferry Tour pro, Matt Atkins. So he won the qualifier. But he was playing against like Grant Horvat, Peter Finch. I don't know if you've seen any of his stuff.
Yeah, Peter Finch is
George Bryan, those type of guys. So
Peter Finch is what's his face's homie?
Rick Shields.
Yeah. Him. I watch their stuff too. So
yeah. Although you shouldn't watch YouTube golf. Tiger said that, didn't he? Remember that clinic he had last year, and they were like, "Who as an amateur starting out, what's the one golf lesson you give them?" And he was like, "Don't watch YouTube."
Yeah,
so many different people do stories.
I mean, I do see his point. And, I think it comes across wrong, especially from my perspective. That's like my driver. That's the crowd I'm in, I guess. And so I'm super pro YouTube. I also take everything that everyone says with a grain of salt. You know what I mean? Like, everything you hear on the internet is true. So, same thing applies to YouTube. Same thing applies to what really most people say these days. Just take it with a grain of salt. I think people do have good explanations of certain things. I'm never going to have the physique of Tiger. I'm never going to have the playing ability of Tiger. So for Tiger to teach me something, probably is just never going to stick, dude. Like, I hear what he says, and it's in the quotes he says, sticks out. But like, Tiger teaching me anything, like, man, dude, whatever. I'm gonna probably relate more to like the Bryan brothers or like a Grant Horvat than I am Tiger Woods. So
Yeah.
um,
So I had a quick chat, a quick check while we're on there. So the boy Atkins has won it. Brian finished second. George Bryan, is it George Bryan? Yeah,
yep.
he finished second. A Tyler Watts finished third. Scott Stevens and Jay Card tied for fourth. Peter Finch and Turk Petit shared sixth place. Other scores included Morgan Dean and Dan Rappaport, Ray Wilkinson, Jamie Wilson. Grant Horvat had a 79. Fat Perez was an 81, and Micah Morris finished dead last. Now, that's strange because Micah Morris is meant to be the one, like, out of the lot of them that's got the best game. You know, if you
I
listen
mean,
to, like, Trotty and that for the TaylorMade fitting and that, they're like, he hits the ball better than Rory.
yeah, yeah, Micah Morris. He was really one of the first. Like, he's the first one, the big story to leave good and that kind of thing, and it was to pursue his professional career, and I think that's kind of what Grant Horvat's going with. You even hear shades of well, I can't even think of his name right now. I just will go good. Main dude, but yeah, Michael Morris pounds the ball, but I also you can nitpick him or nitpick any of them because they put so much footage online that you see the good and the bad,
Yeah.
which maybe shows the realness of all of them. But just it just shows they're not quite there. Maybe I don't know what course they played on, but
Mm-hmm.
you put up an 81 in headlining
Well,
tournament, you might not get many more chances after that.
well, he put up an 86, and what did Atkins win it? 69, 3 under. So yeah, he's miles off. If you
Mm-hmm.
look at it like that, he's miles off. But that's good, I think that's the way golf's going. And I think they've realised, like the PGA Tour and stuff, have realised they need to get influencers and stuff like that involved in it because that's what's going to draw the eyeballs, eh? So
Yeah.
having a tournament like that where they then get sponsors invite that guy Atkins, I mean, fair play to him. He's a veteran player on the Corn Ferry Tour, so he's been out there grinding and stuff, and this will be his big chance. But I mean, he'll play one or two of the round, or definitely play two of the rounds. Sorry, and then he'll just fade into obscurity again. Whereas you like some Micah Morris and stuff, people would probably tune in to see how he's getting on.
Yep.
So he's probably not the telecasters and the sponsors' choice for the one to win it. But good luck to the guy, and we'll see how it goes
Yeah.
when they're at Myrtle Beach in a couple of weeks. So,
Yeah.
um,
I'll tune in. I agree with you in that sense, and I'll be curious what he does and how he does. And yeah, he's not going to be popular amongst the pros and the broadcasters or
yeah,
the old school enter through the old fashioned ways, high school, college, and if you just didn't go that route, you don't have a shot. So I'm intrigued. I'm interested. I hope he does well. I hope he plays well, regardless. Just
yeah,
no ill
yeah,
will. So he's not
yeah,
Patrick Reed, so I don't care what happens really. So
yeah, yeah.
I'm just kidding.
So the PGA's in Zurich this week. So that's quite an interesting competition, that one. So that's the
Yep.
in the two-person
Team.
team one. So there's some good teams. Matt and Alex Fitzpatrick,
Yep.
Shane Lowry and Rory. I'm not so sure that Shane Lowry's got the good end of the deal there. I bet at the time where I think him and Rory said they'd been out for dinner and a few bottles of wine and then decided they would play it. And I bet Lowry is now regretting maybe the chance to be playing with Rory because he's not exactly on his game, is he?
Yeah.
But
He's still Rory, dude.
exactly.
It's just still like JT still has a game in him, to come back and finish fifth place or something in that tournament.
Yeah.
He still got game, dude. Who
Yeah.
knows? Rory can still pound the ball. He's
Yeah.
still an immense driver of the ball, and that's Shane Lowry's a seasoned veteran, dude. And I do maybe it would be good for them to play together and kind of
Have a bit pressure off.
get a little bit of pressure off, and maybe it might
Take a bit of
might
pressure off.
strike something. Rory, you'd never know. Do we
Yeah.
got Cantlay and Scheffler or
Yeah.
Scheffler? Yeah, are they playing?
They're playing, yep. Luke Donald and Francesco Molinari. Billy Horschel's in the field this year with Tyson Alexander. There's a few names I had never really hadn't heard of, like certainly teams wise. Kevin Kisner's in the field. He's playing with a guy called Scott Brown. I don't know who he is.
Yeah, it makes you wonder. Like, do you think like this is an opportunity for maybe some of the pros to bring out somebody they know or something? I don't know how the field, like, because it sounds like they get to kind of choose their own field, and this tournament's driven by people wanting to play in it versus like needing to play in it.
So either last year or I think it was maybe the year before. It was whenever the Netflix, the second series of that Full Swing that's come out. They followed Alex Fitzpatrick. Was going to be playing with Matt in the competition, and it was all because if you win that, you obviously win the money, which is enough to put you on, giving you like some starts on the PGA Tour. And they kind of fell apart. So maybe some of these guys are like, right, let's get somebody I'm good pals with at college that's still a bit of a player. Let's get them out and see what we can do, and maybe giving you kind of buddy a bit of a foot up. But then you come up against a team like Zalatoris and Thigala, I think they won it last year.
No, it was those Matt Wall. No, not Matt Wallace. It was who won it last year?
Oh, I don't know. I was trying to look through it just now.
It was those two boys that didn't win, and then the other guy came back a couple tournaments later and played. A couple white guys, dude.
Oh, is it
not
Nick Henry? Nick Henry or something? Is it? No.
God, I can't even think. Anyway,
we'll go back through it, but we'll see. Davis Riley and Nick Hardy.
Yep, Nick Hardy, and then Nick Hardy came back and played in another tournament fairly soon after and won another tournament, I think it was.
Yep. So there's Bob McIntyre's in the field as well with Thomas Dietrich, Steve Stricker and Matt Kuchar. So there's some big names in the field, but again, there's then some that are maybe not as well known to people who are kind of casual watchers or listeners.
Right,
yep. So we'll see how that pans out. But that's always a good week, and it's something a bit different for them to get their teeth into.
Yep. I think that's it for me this week. I got to run, dude. I got more business information coming in the next couple weeks. I'm hitting it hard. I got a meeting coming up in 20 minutes, and I got to reset up and do some stuff. I almost lost it at the very end there, but I held it together.
So well.
Good to see you, Craig. Sorry, I've been off a little bit, and just trying to keep it together and get on here as much as possible, and just keep being you, brother. So.
We're all busy. Yep, no worries. Yep. We'll chat next week.
Yep.
Cheers.
See you guys.